Hey, what's going on, fam? You saw the title, so I want to jump right into the three things, right? The first thing that you can do to make sure that you have a thriving relationship is deal with your past. We have to deal with our past. And there's this word, this buzzword that everyone's using these days, trauma. And I know that it's just a real popular word, but not everything is trauma. Not everything in your past has to do with trauma. Some things are doors that you just left open and you never closed, and they keep bearing fruit in your present because you haven't dealt with your past. When I was in the corporate world, when it gets to the end of the year, they close the books. In closing the books, they're doing all of the accounting necessary so that they can get the books right and understand what the financials actually did, how they performed for the year. But even in that, there were some times that there were funds left over and they would certify forward or bring that money forward into the next fiscal year so that they continue to take care of something that started in one fiscal year, but it's going to end in another fiscal year. That's what some of us are doing. We have certified forward a lot of things in our past into our present relationships. So I'm asking you to go back and close the books on some things in your past. Some of it is some admissions you need to make to yourself. Some of it is admissions and requests for forgiveness that you need to do with others. But whatever it is, whether it's traumatic or not, deal with your past. The second thing is I want you to explore true intimacy. Now, I want to really dig into this because the word intimacy, sex is just really is like a euphemism for intimacy, but it's not in the actual definition of intimacy. In the Bible, it says, and they knew their wives. And that was knowing your wife was another way of saying that the men had sex with their wives. But intimacy is really not about sex. Intimacy is about vulnerability and risk. That's really what intimacy is about. And so I want you to get to that because you cannot have true intimacy if you're not open to being wounded, if you're not vulnerable enough, if you're not willing to risk yourself, lay it on the line to be open with that other person, you're not really having true intimacy. And now, listen, that can be a little bit scary because no one wants to be hurt. But if I say that I love you and I say that we're in this thing together, and whether I'm married to you or not, or I am already married to you, then I have to get to a place of where I am exercising true intimacy. And true intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires risk. So I want you to really get and understand that part. This is especially true for you as you're dating. You need to be assessing how willing am I to be open and vulnerable. I'm not talking about telling them all my business, just opening up and telling them my entire past, but how open am I to being wounded by this person? Because that vulnerability is also, that risk is also a part of true love. You can't have true love if you're not willing to exercise risk. Now, this last one, number three, I want to start and break this down two paths, one for the married and one for the dating. And I'm going to start with the dating. When we're dealing with you as a dating, this third one is so important. It's so important. Okay? You have to be a better individual. Get selfish with yourself. What do I mean? I know that's like, how are you going to say have a good relationship and be selfish? Listen, just hear me out for a minute. When you work on becoming a better person, the byproduct that the other person benefits from is you will actually also be a better girlfriend, also be a better boyfriend, also be a better husband, also be a better wife. I stand on that because the foundation of being a good companion, being a good friend, all starts with if you're a good person. And this is why it's so critical for you in the dating world. When you're dating, if you work on becoming a better you, and perhaps even doing that before you start dating, it may change how you view the other person. It may help you recognize that while they may be a good person for someone, they're not the good person or the right person for you. Because when you become the right person, you start to view things through a different lens. And it could be that you're bonding with them on trauma. It could be that you're bonding with them because you have same past similar faults, but you're still not the right person. It is possible to be going to the right person while being the wrong person. And then that's just going to end in disaster. Now, when I talk about this for the married people, man, what do I do that if I'm working on me and I'm becoming a better person, not so that I can be a better husband, not so that I can be a better wife, but I'm working on becoming a better person. And lo and behold, as I'm becoming that better person, I recognize something. Me and this person got major issues. Like we really don't vibe. I'm gonna tell you why this is important, particularly. Let me just step back to the dating for just a moment. As you become a better person, let's just say when you first meet them, you're okay with clubbing. You're okay with those things. And I'm not knocking anybody from clubbing, but you are okay with those things. But as you become that better person, you realize actually you would like to do some different stuff. You still want to go out, but it's different environments that you're craving as you become that better person. Now that's what ends up happening and leaking into marriages. We get, oh, we grew apart. You're somebody different. This isn't who I married. Because as you were marrying, as you got into the marriage, marriage will mature you to a degree. It will mature you. It will grow you. It's not that your wife will grow you. It's not that your husband will grow you, but your marriage will grow you and mature you. And all of a sudden, we're growing apart because we don't like the same things. But had you become that better person while you were dating, you would have recognized that some of that in the beginning. So now I'm married, I'm maturing, and I'm realizing that as I become the right person, that maybe I'm with the wrong person. Nope, I'm not giving you that out. What I would ask you to do if you're already married is give that person the same patience you didn't know you needed. Listen, that's all I have for you. Until the next video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can find me on YouTube at The Relationship GPT. Till next time, God bless.